Hello, everybody. As you may know, the last 2 days ago, or yesterday, sorry, I asked you a question about what hockey needs to grow, and most of you answered, which I'm very thankful, and for that I'm thanking you now, and for also not only the ones who participate by giving ideas, but those who vote as well. That's why I share the results. And there were four topics people wanted to share, and I'm gonna talk about them, and I'm gonna tell you if I agree or not, and also what's my point of view or if I want to add something else. So I hope you like it, and I hope you want to do as well something like this. So anyway, there were four answers. One was Be United and Les Eagles. Another one was we need professional leagues run by private corporations and not by federations. Also, we need more coaches and those coaches who are willing to go to new places. And also, publicity is overshadowed by four major sports. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first one: Be United and Les Eagles. Obviously, I agree. I'm gonna tell you right now. I think roller hockey needs a lot of things, but there's things we can do right now that are free of cost or that they don't cost more than the actual cost of roller hockey. And I think there's things we need to do, we have to do, and we can do. So be united and Les Eagles. That's one thing we can do, obviously for sure. Sometimes it's hard to say, but it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. Why? Because on the daily routine you find other coaches, or you compete against other clubs, other players, and so on, and there's always like small fights in between us because of competition. But at the end of the day, we're here because we love this sport, and one thing that unites us all is that we love this sport. No matter where we're from, no matter how long we've played, sorry, no matter how big our league is in our country, how many teams, it doesn't matter. Uh, we all love this sport, and we have to do. I think we can do more for this sport. And Be United and Les Eagles, I think it's a good topic to talk about because sometimes when we do, and I'm talking about myself also, uh, anyone who does something new in roller hockey, everyone is like, why or who he thinks he is, who she thinks he is by doing this or that or whatever. And I think we should be more like, oh, thanks for bringing something new. Even we know about it. I mean, for example, books. 2 days ago, I asked you if you wanted me to write a small free ebook. Obviously, it won't be a crazy book with all the things I know or all the things I've learned. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone by writing this book. All I wanted to do is to bring something that roller hockey has given me, and roller hockey has given me a lot. And I think that that happens to most of us. So yeah, hold on 1 second. Now much better. I think that happens to a lot of us. That we don't want to do something because we think, oh, they're gonna think, why am I doing this or why am I doing that? I think the best thing is to do things, and if all I've learned, which has been from a lot of other coaches, if I've learned that I consider myself lucky, all these coaches would have written even a small book, like with one chapter about something they want to share about hockey. I think it will be very good because lots of people will be like, okay, oh, maybe I can write this book. Like, I mean, it's simple. It's not. I'm not telling you uh, write about everything you want, or everything you know about hockey, just a small, like, what's the most important thing for you to share with roller hockey, for roller hockey, and I think that will help a lot. Or even do a small book with with exercise you use daily, and obviously all those exercises. I mean, I use lots of exercises. Where do I learn from? From other coaches. I watch other sports, such as ice hockey. From ice hockey, I take a lot of exercises as well. Obviously, I try to adapt them to our sport, because different sports requires different exercises, but some of them can be applied um, with the right way of approach. And so 90% of the exercises I know are not mine. Like 10% I make them up, but obviously I make them up because there are adaptations from other exercises or whatsoever. And things like this, I think everyone can share a bit of that knowledge. Like, I don't know, 5 exercises, 10 exercises, one exercise, and it will be a lot for us. If imagine every coach doing one exercise, sharing one exercise with the rest of the world by one book, even if it's or a PDF, I don't know. Um, Imagine how good would it be. Actually, I'm thinking I could ask coaches to share one exercise with me and do a book with telling which exercises comes from who, and maybe we can have a nice book. So that's just an idea, but it's what I'm saying. Less egos, and be more united. One thing, it's like this. That's what I mean, or that's what I understand by saying less egos and be more united. Professional leagues running by private. I agree. I think at least in Spain, Portugal, Italy, it will be good for our sport that a private corporation or so run the league, because that will have a more professional approach to the league, and it will help teams to be more professional. Obviously, the teams, like players, coaches, and all that, they are professionals, but not the club statements, which is very important as well for us, that the clubs are also professionals, because that's when the money comes for this sport, and we all know that money moves mountains, and if we want our sport to grow, we need companies, money, and knowledge all together. So that's why I'm saying I agree with the professional leagues run by private corporations instead of federations, because if you watch football, soccer, sorry, football meaning soccer, American football, baseball, basketball, ice hockey, everything is run by private corporations, and I think it is important for the sport. Also, even tennis, it's run by uh, the Professional Tennis Players Association. So that's why I'm saying all this. More coaches, and those coaches that are willing to go to new places. Same as with the exercise. Imagine that in every club comes a new coach. No, so this new coach, or one of the out of let's say one club has 3 coaches. Imagine that from these 3 coaches, one goes to another place, even it's nearby. That will help the sport grow, and every time we go one step further. So when this coach goes to this new place, once he has 3 new coaches, one is sent to somewhere nearby that there's no roller hockey, and then again and again and again and again. That would be exponentially grow, because imagine that is what I say, like first starts with one coach, then two clubs starts sending one coach, then four clubs, then eight clubs, then 16 clubs. So in 20 years from now, if we do this, our sport would grow. We cannot imagine how much would it grow, because if we think about it, roller hockey is one hell of a sport. We know that, but there's a study made that 70% of the people who watch roller hockey for first time, they're like, I want to see more, and that doesn't happen in a lot of sports. And I think we should embrace that and use that, and take advantage from. So I totally agree with all the things said, with more coaches and those who are willing to go to new places. And publicity overshadowed by four major sports. Uh, yes, but I think if we do, I think for us having publicity, we need to get a lot of people playing this sport, and sometimes it's hard to understand that. Like there, some people will say, but how do we do that without publicity? I think it's like the egg and the chicken. What comes first? No, for me, what comes first, it's players. We need tons and tons and tons and tons of players anywhere, in any place. We need those coaches, which we were talking about, to go to new places, have new players, those players engage with this sport. Why? Because if we have, instead of 100 people playing this sport, 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 people playing this sport, imagine, I mean, it's everything is numbers, you know. And if we share, if we have one people playing this sport, the odds of these people knowing someone who can give us publicity are rare. But if there's 10, those odds are more. If there's 100, those odds are more. If there's 1,000, same, 100,000, 1,000,000 people playing this sport. From all of these people, there will be someone who will see this sport and they will say, let's do this or that or so, in a way that we can find publicity for us to compete against other major leagues. And obviously, it doesn't come with what from day from night. Sorry, it doesn't come in a single day. It comes from a lot of years of work. But yeah, I agree with the publicity for helping us compete with other sports. But I think that one is a step. Let's say the 10th step out of 20 or so. I think we need to fill other steps before we can do this, and and publicity will come to us. But yes, I mean, for me, all these 4 points are very valid points, and I think we need to work on all of them in a bigger or lower scale. And obviously, publicity, if we want to compete against major leagues, we need a big publicity, which we won't have right now, but we can have publicity that helps us uh, keep building and keep growing, no? So, so I agree with that. But in my opinion, is what I say. I mean, from all these 4 points, which are very valid, I get the one. I take one. I don't know if there was one, but I'm gonna say uh, we need players and we need coaches. Coaches. If we have coaches, we will have players, and if we have players, everything else will come around. But in order for that, we need coaches that take care of the youngsters, because the youngsters are the future of this sport. and I know everyone wants to be on top level, but right now any sport is a pyramid, and kids or youngsters playing are the base of any sport, and there has to be a lot. So the top, which is 10% of that, can play. The more players we have on the youngsters, the better will be, and the better will be, the top will be even better. And right now we have tons of really good players. I cannot say names because I will miss one, and I don't want to miss anyone. But imagine if instead of 1 million people playing this sport, which I don't think it's even that far. I think we have 100,000 at most. But imagine if 100,000 people playing this sport all over the world, will be 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 6 million. We will have tons of even better players that right now, compared to the ones right now, will be like, these ones are far away from those ones. So, so yeah, I think that's key. But I think the most important thing is for us to focus at least on one point and work on that. So that's my tip for today. Thanks for listening to me. I hope you like the video, and I hope you like what I say. Obviously, you can agree with me or not. You can leave on the comments what did you agree with me or what did you less agree with me, and everything will be read for. So I really appreciate all your comments, and anything that you may add or things that I've missed or you want to hear about, anything will be appreciated. So thanks for listening and have a nice day.